Well, chaps, good afternoon. We're just leaving Loomies bike cath. You might notice a few things. I've changed my tag. It's now midlife adventures. Don't get me. Sunday. Don't get me wrong. I've still got my Hemi. I love us bits. Went out the other day. Went up the South Downs, up some track and that. Lovely. And I bought this as a trade product. A little project to do. And it's ongoing. I won't tell you how much it costs because you won't believe me, but it was cheap. For an 07 plate, 49,000 miles on, full service history by BMW. God, these lights stay forever. Alright. Anyway, I've done a lot of work on it, a full major service. Just set down a bit ago. That's it. Full major service, stripped down the brake. New piston seals. Yeah, it's windy out here today. Anyway, I've been out a couple of miles. I've done what? About 1,000 miles on it yet so far. And it's been a perfect little runabout. Not too much. And getting the mirrors just right is a pain. There you go. What's happened to the visor in this? Anyway, it's been a good little project. It's kept me going over Christmas. And for me, I'm doing a Devon tour this year, and hopefully getting a European tour, taking all the little A and B roads from St Malo in France right down to sunny Brits and then on to Portugal, Spain and back again. This is what I'm going to do on. I did France on the Himalayan and from Calais to Normandy, around there for a week or so, and it acted perfect. Sat at 65 all the way and it done perfect for me, but this is a longer trip. I needed a bigger bike, and this came along and I thought, hang on, use MOT on it. Oh god, that bloody wind. I thought that'd do me. God, this wind's pretty blowy today. Excuse me. And as usual, I'm doing the trips on my own. I don't like going with other people because you have to run to their capabilities and things like that. You know, I'd just rather stop. Still not getting this wheel right. That's a bit better. Stop when I want, go as fast or slow as I want, and just stay where I want, you know, on the off chance. Not booking nothing, just stop on the off chance. Anyway, let me tell you about this. It's the R1200 RT. It's the SE version, which gives you cruise control, time monitors. Goodness, it's terrible getting thrown down. Heated grips, heated seat front and rear. I can turn off the traction control if I want, and you've got the up and down screen. And so far I'm getting out of it 56.5 to the gallon, and that's little stop start journeys like this. And back, tyre pressure monitor, 7.5 centigrade out of there, and I've got 105 miles left in the tank, which is supposed to be around, the tank's supposed to give you about 250, 280 at a push. And so far out of a full tank I've got 193 miles, and it says I've got 100 left, so I don't think the gauge is dead on spot on, so I will fill up before the light comes on. I must admit I'm liking not having the pressure on my chest that I do on the Himalaya when I'm driving fast. And people say these bikes don't handle. Well, I'm going a bit too fast around here, but yeah, they do handle. The only problem is I keep coming into two corners too fast. I keep forgetting I'm not in the Himalayan, where I can just slow down a little bit and let the bike take it around. Excuse me. Yeah, the Himalayan is definitely a keeper. But I've never understood why people have two bikes in the garage. I've had it before when I bought the Himalayan, and I didn't use the Tiger, so I just sold that. But I can see now why people have a small bike and a big bike. So being now midlife ventures, I'm going to take it on little trips. Yeah, it doesn't have to be fantastic. Every ride these days to me is an adventure. This is Hampshire, what we're in. We're going to come into Sussex soon. I'm nice and warm. I ain't got no heating on. All I've got is a base layer on underneath me top and bottoms, and I'm nice and warm like that. And I've even got me summer gloves still on. But my ears do get a bit cold now and then. So I've started to wear a mask. Every time I go to the petrol station they think I'm going to rob them. So on little short journeys like this I leave it off. Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice having the top gear, which is an overdrive. And the thing is, you don't feel the weight of it. Okay, when you're pushing it around, yes, it's got a low seat height. I think it's a tad lower than the Himalayan actually, and it is a bit of a struggle pushing it backwards and forwards, but once you take off, all the lightness is gone. You know, it's wiggling. You know, you wiggle it about, fly it about. I'm still trying to get used to this front suspension on this. At the moment I've got it set on comfort, which does help on these bloody bumpy roads, but it's just when you brake hard, the front don't go down that much. It feels like the old Citroens from the past where they had hydraulic suspension. You could brake hard as that, you only get a little dip. for penny pot money, I can't moan. It does motorway speeds. Well, it takes it with its pace. There's no difference in it really. If you're doing 30 or 70, it will do a lot more than that, but I'm not going to say how much. It just takes it in its pace, you know. Which way did I come in? That way, I think. The thing is with this, you can let the revs drop right down and just chug along. Everywhere you go there's a Lidl's. And how these are Lidl, so you never starve these days. I thought that said Penis Road then, it says Pens. I have seen some funny names, especially at, well, they got a cow in the front. Oh, there's some funny places, names in Britain. Little Piddle, Great Piddle. Oh, Cocking, everything. Am I going town or centre? No, I don't want to go there really. I'll go in this way. I want to go this way. Bump, bump, bump. God, this road's terrible, it's full of bumps. Apparently, just in this car park here, excuse me, excuse me, they have a brilliant farmers market. And the old red line is where a friend of mine manages it. Nice bloke into bike stall. He's got a Harley 1200 and a Triumph Rocket. Which when he takes off, he says it is like a rocket. First week of having it, he said he didn't get out of third gear. She's pretty. Shall I get it? Nah, I can't be bothered. Let's go here anyway. I was watching a couple of videos last night, these two chaps from up north somewhere. Darlington or something like that, who travelled from home, Romania, Bulgaria, and on their way back, Italy, Switzerland and all that. It was a really, really good laugh. Apparently they've known each other. What's this one braking for? Oh, I've got to go there. Silly cow. Nice pond though. In the summer you get loads of hire boats and people boating about on there. Shame that you're not allowed to fish in there. Yeah, anyway, they went all over this place, and they've known each other for ages, they work with each other. And it was like two kids chatting along on the intercoms. And it was a really enjoyable watch. Ooh. Lotus 7s. Yeah, really enjoyable watch. Well, when it's cold, you don't feel like nothing to do. Hot cup of tea, and just watch YouTube videos. Yeah, I've got to mention COVID because everyone does. I know Buffoon Boris has lifted all restrictions, but is that to get him in the good books again with the people? I don't think so. Well, I do actually, but the virus just ain't gone away because he said there's no restrictions. If I got going into a supermarket shop, I still wear a mask. I don't know what it's like in pubs. I don't go to pubs. It's all right, I'm wiggling about it because I'm trying to miss the hard bits of loose gravel. Yeah, I don't go in pubs. I don't really drink. I think the last time I got drunk when I was about 20, and that was what, 30, oh god, nearly 4 years ago. Excuse me. But just because he says you don't need to wear all these masks and things like that and hand sanitisers, doesn't mean there is. It's just disappeared. He said, "Oh, goodbye. I'll see you later." No, just be careful out there. That wind is strong here. I feel it pushing me about. That's the only problem with full fairing and large panniers. You get pushed about like anything else sideways. I must remember to keep changing gears and all, because you leave it at third or fourth and you think that's it, because it's smooth at that, you know, from anything up from 30 miles an hour. You forget you got 6 gears. Perfect place for me to be out right in the middle of the country somewhere, in a house where you can look out the windows of the door and you can't see no other house around. Yeah, the type of place where you can come out your front door, run naked, screaming with your hands in the air. I don't know if I've nerve to do that, because you always get some chap and woman walking around the countryside. They're always getting lost, coming onto property. Anyway, I've done a few mods on this bike already. I've actually put these brackets on here, which slightly raises the handlebars and pulls them back about 19mm. Because when I first rode this, I found, because I ain't got very long arms, I've got little hands and all, it was hurting my back, especially my clutch shoulder. I saw a chap called Tinderbox Arts on YouTube, and he fitted them, and he said, and the first thing he said was, well, I don't know if they're going to work. It wasn't until he took a little trip out. He said, yeah, they do work. So I tried a pair, they're only cheap ones. But I got new bolts for them. No instructions, of course, because it's simple to work out, and it does help. The only thing I did swap out was a gear lever extension. Not a gear, the brake lever extension. Because for some reason BMW decided on these to put very small levers on. And unless you crick your foot in, you can't put your front brakes. So I had to buy an extender. I got that from Nippy Norman's. The gear lever's still short, so the little stick out bit, but that's not too bad on this. You still have to nip legs in sometimes. Just tuck your foot right in. Why they done that, I never know. Oh, slip then. Front slip levels. I will say this has got road pilot 4s on. And on the BMW forums they do say, oh, they're brilliant, you know. And I thought, right, okay, I've heard it's all about another forums. So they're supposed to be really, really good wet weather tyres. So okay then. These are half worn, so I thought I'd try these. So I went out in the wet weather. I went along the motorway to get them, well, the dual carriageway, to get them warmed up first. Then I come on the small lanes, and they did astonishing, they do grip. They're not as good as Roadtech 01s, which I love, but they wear out too fast. But these do a good job. I don't know what the new Road Pilot 5s are like, because I haven't tried them, but I heard they're bringing out Road Pilot 6 on, a bit outdated. But they seem a good tyre. And of course it's one of BMW's recommended fitments. And that's what I found out about these forums, BMWs. People don't like going against recommended fitments. Which you can't, you know, if you put a pair of Avons on here, oh no, they're no good, they don't fit the bike. Yeah, I don't understand these people sometimes. You've had a tyre on a heavy bike before, you like it, use it again. And if it doesn't suit the way of the bike, you can always take them off and sell them second hand with a couple 100 miles or 1,000 miles on them. I do love this time of year, when the trees have got no leaves on. You can see right in the valleys and everywhere. You can see right distant, it's much nicer. Shame it's so cold. But if you just sensibly this time of year, you can enjoy yourself. Like I said, under this I've only got base layer. That's all I wore with the Himalayan actually, same kit in the winter, and no heated hand grips or anything. And people moaning they're cold. Well, dressed properly. No, my stuff's not expensive. My base layer kit come from Decathlon a couple of years ago, and it's brilliant. I think it's made for skiers or joggers, but it's brilliant. Without your trousers over the top, you do look like Maxwell though, with a black tight bottoms on. If you're old enough to remember Maxwell. Oh look, pheasant. Yeah, I'm showing my age, Maxwell. He's just before my time, but I do remember him on telly. Yeah, but it's not, and I've got, alright, I've got leather boots which have got Gore-Tex lining, it's waterproof, but I've only got a little pair of like ankle socks on, with my bottoms, my base layer tucked into them. I'm not cold at all. So dress sensibly. If you're cold and you start shivering, you've got no control of the bike, and you start losing concentration of what you're doing. It's like if you've got the, you know, your kit ain't waterproof and you're out there, oh, terrible. I remember the days back in the 80s. I was a London dispatch rider. Visors missing up, water dripping inside them, waterproofs weren't waterproof. You know, excuse me. The own gloves weren't waterproof. Boots, you end up wearing a pair of black bin liners inside your boots just to keep your feet dry. Or some people did wear wedlies. Well, it's quite hot. I forgot this cuts off every now and then, doesn't it? Restarts. Yeah, that was a hard job, long hours. Worst day was Friday when everyone wanted hundreds of deliveries at 5:30 at night. You want to go home because you're cold or you're wet. We had no protective padding. People were riding around in shorts and trainers and t-shirts, which I thought was mad that time. People used to laugh at me because I was sweating a bit because I had a pair of leather trousers on and a jacket. But where else can a 17, 18, 19 year old earn up to 500 quid in those days? Even a specialist couldn't earn that much. I remember doing so much mileage that I had to change 2 bikes in within the year. If I'd done any more, they weren't worth a penny. It's not so noisy. The views are really nice there, yeah. Six gear, just pull it back a bit. Straight up to 80. Sorry, 60. I never go over the speed limit. Got a bit worried thinking that car flashed me as I overtook. Thought it was a plainclothes police car. The police have a lot of BMW, dark coloured BMW plainclothes around here. Oh, money out. pheasant. Oh, there's one just there and all. There was a report on the news the other day comparing motorcyclists to cars and how they look at their, you know, what's in front of them as they're going along. Well, I don't know how they did it, but they reckon motorists are looking all around, over there, up there, down, and like that, all the time. But they reckon motorcyclists are just focusing on the road ahead. Yeah, I focus on the road ahead, but I'm also taking notice in my peripheral and everything. I'm not just looking dead ahead, looking at the floor. That seems to come to what conclusion they come for. If we only just look straight ahead, be like zombies. You know, my eye, like I said, my eye, I'm looking everywhere. Okay, I'm looking at the road surface, which they said motorcyclists look at the road surface all the time. That's what they cause accidents. I thought, what a load of rubbish. So I think they got the... Yep. It wasn't a BMW on me. So I think they got their... Oh, get him right here. I think they got their studies mixed up. Because, you know, you get these cars, drivers saying, oh sorry mate, didn't see ya. Well, if they're supposed to be looking around everywhere, why didn't they see us? So I think they got their facts mixed up there. Oh, and then it comes down to insurance having two bikes. People think it's a lot more expensive. It's not that bad. I've got the Himalayan, which is on fully comp, locked in the garage with 15,000 miles a year restricted mileage. Then I've got this one, which also gets locked in the garage with 4,000 miles restriction on it, but I can't see how they can tell how many miles done. They don't ask you from the start. Perhaps they look at the database on the MOTs these days. Anyway, all that with full European breakdown. What else there? Oh, clothing cover and legal come to 275 for the whole year. And not only can I drive my bikes, I can also drive other people's. So it's not overly expensive. I presume the way they look at it, well, you ride one bike, you can't be riding the other one at the same time. But I suppose it gets covered in the garage in case there's a fire or it gets stolen and things like that. But I will say one thing, they asked what locks or alarms you got on it. And on the internet, I had a fiddle with it saying, oh, I had all this stuff on it. And then the next quote, I said, I had a cheap old chain now, it's not even on my list. And it didn't make a blind bit of difference. I'll tell you, I think it made a five difference. So what's the point of having all this stuff? You know, overpriced locks and all that, when you know the one you got is good enough to save a five on your insurance. And the other thing I noticed on theirs, they asked you about modifications. Well, I've done quite a few to the Himalayan. You might know if you've seen my previous videos, like exhaust, a do-it-yourself, what they call now, power booster type thing, where it drops you, it falls the ECU thing, you go, the engine's colder, or it's colder outside, where it gives you more fuel, and bits and pieces, and taking the all the plastic emission stuff off. But that's allowed on there. That doesn't get classed as modification. They're more interested in frame modification, engine swaps and things like that. And if you've upgraded your brakes, alright, fair enough. So I've been with Cow and Ash for years. They used to do me dispatch riding insurance, and I thought I'd give them a go this time, and they come up the cheapest. So happy days. Now my car insurance is there more expensive than my bike insurance, which is a joke. And it's not a big car, it's not expensive. It's 3 years old, worth about 25,000, a little mini thing wife likes. And insurance and that is dear. Nice old Beetle. I won those years ago. A 1303, which had the rounder windscreen. I put 1600 in that, went everywhere in it, lovely. Just the heating's not that good on them, because it has to go through heat exchangers, and then it's not, you don't get really warm. But my kids loved it when they were young. Oh, excuse me. Another vehicle that was easy to work on. 4 cylinders, seemed like similar to the box engine, and a big fan sitting on top. And that's all it was. Ooh, that's diesel or petrol, slippery, whatever it was. Get off of that. Apparently they've had a lot of trouble around here with travellers pitching up on the football pitches. But I didn't see any, so unless they got the area wrong or they're just trying to stir up trouble, I don't know. Oh, he's a tall man. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, seat height on these. It's slightly lower, but the saddle's wider than an Himalayan. Which I can flat foot this anyway, both sides. And I've only got 29-inch leg. But you can jack it up another bit on the settings, and it'll suit anyone over sort of 5'10". You go, oh, I'm going, I can't be bothered. You go 5'10", and that, it takes them up a bit. And I don't know if I said, once you get going on this, you can't feel the weight. Oh. Just get a bit of fresh air to my face. This is Chichester. It's the main town for my village. Which is 8.5 miles, 9 miles outside Chichester, right on the coast. I've done a bit of taxi driving around here for a few years, and Chichester, oh, there we go. Chichester's a bit chalk and cheese. In the day it's lovely, you know, just shops, and then at night it turns into a hellhole. You've got people who can't handle their drink. Turn that off a minute. People can't handle their drink, and yeah, I've done taxi in London, and these ones are like, oh, there's no word for them. They're just horrible. You get a lot of people talking about they do runners without paying. You know, smash up the cabs and everything. But they're terrible. They're like animals. Mother shouldn't have let them out. It's probably due to this nurse training facilities here in Chichester University. But I stopped doing all that when the nightclub closed in Chichester. That's where your bread come from. What you earned all week was like running money, and on Friday and Saturday nights, that was your bread and butter where you made your profit. Well, it was just in the end, the council just gave out too many badges. God, is this train coming or not? Oh. I just realised the cable was a bit long. Oh, right, train. I wonder if there's going to be another one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I know, I turned you on before you finished doing your check. Yeah, so like I was saying, you don't have to be a short ass. If you're short, you don't have to worry about it. You can still get your feet on the ground. At least one's solid. God, it's windy. Let's get over there. Oh my God. Front wheel missed that groove back, didn't I? No, if I want to do skiing and jumping on that and fishing. That old building's the old nunnery, but it's now turned to a school. They had a fire and the nuns couldn't afford to rebuild it. But now they've got these two little three houses, and it's helped by a charity called Stone Pillow, and it's all for people who can't get out, are down and out type people, down on their luck. And that place helps them get back on their feet. I don't know if there's any nuns in there anymore though. But I've given a lot of old furniture, fridge, freezers, and electrical stuff to them so they can resell. May as well give someone else a chance of it. He's going there, he's going there, you stop there. There's horrible grooves in the road here. So this is what I would call, I would just take it down the tip and dump it. At least they could sell it to get some money in to look after people. Although I'm not a big charity giver, things like that, I don't mind. This is Huntston, not a very big place. Oh, the sheep are, yeah, there's usually sheep in these fields and they move on to somewhere else. That's an old toll house where you had to stop and pay your farthing to go over. And believe it or not, behind this hedge, a railway used to run. And the first trains I had were converted Rolls Royces put with railway wheels on them. And they kept breaking down, of course, until they got proper trains. And there used to be 4 or 5 stops here. They used to have like tin sheds where hay used to be delivered, things like that. You know, they ran for years. It was done by the same person as did the electric Volks Railway in Brighton, that little train that runs along the seafront. He put his money into it, but it just didn't really take off. It used to pick up like holiday makers back then and take them to Selsley where they could go to the boarding houses and things. There wasn't a campsite then. But it just died a death. It always used to get derailed for some reason and just fall off the train, the tracks. Amazes me how most of the trees still got leaves on, or they just brambles over top, I don't know. Pine trees, well, they've always got green on them, haven't they? Oh, I love that smell, someone having a little bonfire in their garden. So, why do we pay road tax? The state of them is terrible. And if I know, leave it for years, then fill it in with a lump, then it makes it even worse. Oh, Mustang. No, it gets me, where does this money go? I did ask an MP years and years ago where the money goes to, and he mumbled on about something. And I said to him, so where's the money go? And he just mumbled on about something else. But you know what these politicians like, they can always sidetrack the actual issue or the questions. Oh, bumbling Boris is good at that. Why does this one keep breaking? Yeah, scratch your head, your brain's settling there. Well, I think on this one, we'll finish this off overlooking the sea. Well, this is more... God, it never used to be this bad. It's more suited to the Malian than this. You have to watch it because a lot of small vehicles use these tracks and they dump diesel and everything on the floor as they go along, they just spill it out. So they've been hedge cutting though. And down here, there's a track there, we'll have a look at that later. Down here is where Jack D used to live. I don't know which house, but he now lives further into West Sussex. But it was quite regular down the pub down here. I think it's called a Crab and Lobster. We've got some nice houses down there, which I can afford them. God, I tell you what, these potholes down here are worse than it looks like on camera. Oh God, you can get a pigeon for tea. Where we go? There's quite a few people. Let's go in there. This bit of sea here. Is that good enough? Yeah. This is called Paham Harbour. Believe it or not, the sea covers all this in high tide. You can see gullies where it comes up, but it does actually cover it all. I'll just go right up. Oh, come off wrong side. Ah. And you can see it goes right over there. I've driven around here once in the car in the winter, and it was like a frozen lake. And you can see where the water comes in down there. Yeah, along with Selsley, this place is where they tested the, oh, I forgot what they're called now, the concrete floating platforms they used in the war, where they made like jetties and all that. They're floating massive bits of concrete. They joined them up to make roads and things. We do get an array of birds over. There's a bird sanctuary just over there. No, I don't know what's over here. What's over it? There's a little river going in. I mean, this way it comes in. Look at that house, and you've got your own private lake. Oh, that's my dream. That is a private lake on my house. I'm doing my fishing quietly. But it's probably brackish there. There's a bit of seawater and a bit of fresh water. But it is nice. But anyway, that's my bike in front of you. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Keep safe.